that brings us to Chuck Ricks. So after Larry took a job over at Family Healthcare to work on that project, Chuck Ricks came on board and continued to work with us. And I will say, Chuck taught me diplomacy and being calm and making reasonable decisions. I spent a lot of time over in his office.
How'd that work out for you?
I'm not in jail yet, and I'm not
He's
familiar
still
with the
working in
police lineup that
progress.
Chuck was talking about earlier, but I'm going to admit to anyway. But it was one of those things where I met Chuck, and his children were wonderful. We hung out together as families, and he taught me a lot about being a father, and he taught me a lot about how, again, to behave in a diplomatic way that would help me do better in the world. And when you're young and you first get a job and you're trying to make headway and stride in the right direction, I didn't always do it best. And that's why I really enjoyed having people around me to do what was going on. But one of the more comforting thoughts was that as much as I wanted to rebel rouse, and Denise would try to slow me down, but it didn't always work, then I would go over to see Chuck and he'd be like, all right, listen, you got to be smarter. You got to talk better, and you got to be more of a diplomat, and not everything is race you win quickly. And I always appreciated his mentorship and his advice and what that meant for Patch. And then, again, that collaboration of intergenerational work between a committee on aging and a daycare is unheard of in our state. It's unheard of in most places. But Mr. Ricks continued to push that envelope so that we stood out amongst the crowd and continued our good work in the community. Here we are again today. So, Mr. Ricks, we really appreciate it.